Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope this video can make it a little bit better for you. Today I'm going to be trying to do something that we've been doing mostly over on the stream channel, but also wanted to do it a little bit here on the main YouTube, and that's trying to really find ways to level up your champions and doing what I'm calling these blessed runs, because you're trying to fit in as many of these cosmic blessings as possible. So you're trying to find times or situations where you can easily level up champions. Now, there's some champions that there are adventures that work really well for them, like the Fizz adventure. For some people, getting extra mana, drawing a spell can be really good. Sett honestly wouldn't be bad there as well. Or some champions, they're perfectly fine, not really running any relics. They have enough just innate power in their kit. They can just run full blessings and absolutely annihilate the enemy. One example of a champion who did that on was Fiddlesticks, and yeah, it took like a little bit longer, but not even that much longer. We were still able to easily clear. But one thing you want to be bearing in mind if you're trying to level up a lot of your champions, now that the max level is 50, is specific situations that might pop up where you have a great opportunity to level, and those situations are often going to be in the new events or in the new weekly nightmares. So one example was in the Volibear adventure that was a 5-star. You could easily cheese that adventure with a whole bunch of champions, and so that was a great opportunity to level up a bunch of champions right there. Or one of the best ones right now is paying attention to the weekly nightmares, because especially this 4.5 can roll with some modifiers that actually can help you. Normally these two is just like pretty much all negative modifiers, but normally the 4.5 does have some pretty solid ones. So for this week, at least for NA, we have guided meditation. So this and repetition, where all spells are doubled, pretty much the two biggest ones you want to look out for, because that can just give you so much extra power that they can help a lot of champions be able to clear adventures, even if they were a bit lower. So for guided meditation, this is great for any champions like Chemtech Duplicator, because you can obviously get that going turn one, but it's also just good for a lot of champions that take a little bit to ramp up. So if you have like a Volibear, Elder Dragon, Ornn, Darius, just any of those champions that with the extra mana, they can actually put a lot of pressure on early, they would also be totally fine here. Now for today, we're going to try to showcase Sett. We're going to try to go for double cosmic blessings and then just a Chemtech Duplicator. Now while it is great getting some other relics here like Grand General's Counterplan, we're wanting to try to fit in as many cosmic blessings as we can. So it is going to be a little bit more inconsistent since we're not going to get that guaranteed champion spell every round, but this should still be strong enough. Sett is incredibly good with the Chemtech Duplicator. So let's go ahead and try this here. If you're enjoying these videos though, a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated. And if you want even more content, check the links down below for either my Twitch channel or my replays channel. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's see what you can get for a first power here. Summon 2 Husks, Sharpen Resolve. So this doesn't cost anything, which is kind of good and bad for us, but it is a really good combat trick. When we have our Chemtech Duplicator on the board, this will give us a 6/4, which is pretty crazy. So sure, we can go ahead and grab this, and let's go for the Maker. This one can often be pretty annoying, but we'll try to go for it. Let's get rid of these two. We know we're going to draw our Sett because he's our only champion at the moment. All right, let's try to drop him here. So we could go for a coin right away. I think that's maybe try to go for a Dancing Droplet. We want them to play one more card. So them recalling that actually kind of helped us. We'll go ahead and drop the coin because we need to get a little bit of extra mana. Now we can drop a Face Breaker to stun both of those and generate some more coins. All right, let's go and use our little counter here. Oh, so we're at 11 out of 12. So the next mana we spend is going to give us a rally. So let's go ahead and attack like this, kill that unit. So we got that rally. We'll drop the Pit Professional, since it'll give us another coin. Sure, we can go ahead and try to get rid of this one, get another couple coins.
Hey boss, check out the size of the crowd.
We're, yeah, trying to kind of spend as much as we can, refill as much as possible. All right, I think so. Bout Security is not bad. I think let's actually go for a Dancing Droplet. So we will attack like this, and then we'll try to get another rally going. I thought they were trying to block. All right, let's drop this right here.
We don't do credit. me in the ring.
All right, let's drop this one right here. So not quite ending, but getting a pretty good amount of attacks in. And we should be able to get another rally here in a moment. So we're going to drop this. It's pretty expensive, but it can then give us... it can double our coins. That's not really the best for us. And that recalled a bunch of our units. That's also pretty bad. So we could drop this here. Would give us a blocker. But I think whatever we block with isn't really going to matter too much. Because, yeah, they're about to attack.
I'm here to see you, of course.
Oof, we actually can't block. Well, we can go right here.
This will be a good warm-up.
All right, so they just have one unit. Let's go ahead and just
Looks like
drop a
full
couple of
house.
these.
Nice work. And would it kill you to smile? Welcome to
And
the
GG.
arena.
All right, not too bad. All right, so an old timer, 8 cost, play 2 dragon boons on me. Recall the strongest enemy. If you spent 16 mana this round, recall all enemies. Since we're starting with so much mana, we could potentially use this. It wouldn't be terrible. Sure, even the one play effect of just recalling the strongest enemy, that can be often fine. And Bess is really good. Public Execution, another rally. Scion is fun. We should probably try to think of, if we're going to draw a champion that's not going to be our main champion. Rictus isn't bad. We don't really need the Crystal Carrier, but the stun is solid. Yeah, Besser with a lot of attacks is pretty good. Sure. Yeah, that'll be pretty solid. Double champion items. So we want to go for Trifarian or T-Hex. I think we go for T-Hex with Jace, or not Jace, with Sett. We can end pretty fast as far as like the amount of rounds played, so they shouldn't get too much benefit from this. Let's go here. I'm a little bit more worried about the Trifarian. All right, we're going to get rid of a couple of these. We'd like to place your bets in A bout security. We want to be sure we can get our champion if possible. All right, let's drop him right away.
Boss, that's all there is to it.
Let's get
Hey boss, check out the size of the
some of this going.
And all of them here to see you, of course.
Yeah, we can go for A. Place your bets. All right, let's go for our coin to refill our mana. All right, so I think we just triggered our rally, but that's fine. So we actually might be able to get to a point to play this. We do still have a lot of cards. Let's play this one here. Let's go for our Facebreaker for now. This will give us some mana back with our coins.
happy to do whatever's needed.
So we could attack. We could drop our old timer, which will give us, or will recall all their units, but he will also trigger our rally.
No holds
I think let's go ahead and attack like this first, see how they block. Yes, we might recall everyone, but we really just need to give them opportunities to play more stuff. All right, so they are out of normal mana. Let's go ahead and drop him right here. Give us those stats. Give us that rally. Recall all their units.
beat losers, get paid.
And GG. Nice. Bout security, not bad. Just getting more copies of this is nice. Transient Lure could make us overdraw, but if we didn't have our main champion, that actually could be pretty nice. This would give us a decent amount of blockers. But yeah, I think getting more copies of Bout Security is solid. Let's go ahead and go for the champion item right here. I think we'll go for a spell draw since we aren't getting more copies of him, and we really need to get some of our spells that draw coins. So let's go right there. So we have a shop or slot boss. So yeah, we'll hit up the shop. Let's go for Burblefish. I do like that old timer. We'll get rid of the Zephyr. I like these 3 cards, and to place your bets is nice. Okay, we didn't get our main champion. It's like, we can't just immediately drop it. We could go for a place your bets. Sure. That'll give us enough that if we draw our champion, we could have played it. So he would be good. Is there a dragon boon that gives you overwhelm? I know there's a dragon soul that does. It probably would be good to drop Ambessa and then just try to get some attacks in. But I kind of want to try to drop this guy. We're not going to get the full rally. Alright, so Deathless. Let's drop this before they kind of, what is it called? Crank it. We'll attack like this. They'll probably, yeah, block. So we'll go for our public execution next round and try to get a... I hate these cards so much. Try to get a rally. Alright, I don't want this nabbing our cards. So we'll drop that there, and we'll try to get some blockers going if we can. But they might just immediately attack. Alright, 2 damage is not really a big deal. This is a little bit of extra draw on it, so sure, we can drop that there. This is only doing 2 damage. Let's drop this here. We want to keep our elusive blockers alive. Alright, so I think we... Actually, let's see. How close are we to... Yeah, we're not going to get this effect this round. Sure, we can attack right here. If they block with one of theirs, our Dancing Droplet is strong enough to kill them. Let's go for Pit Professional.
It's about the coin.
And we can drop our Ambessa. She'll be pretty good for getting more effects going. More attacks. Alright, so we need a bit more. Sure, let's drop this one right here. We'll drop this here to try to keep them alive, but that is actually a decent amount of damage. Yeah, our Ambessa will end up dying, but let's go ahead and attack like this.
No kills, no entry. Thank you. Thank you.
Alright, let's go for a coin here. And sure, let's actually go ahead and copy the Midnight Raid. So we're forcing them to either block or just take a ton of damage, which it kind of doesn't matter because we're going to be able to attack with everyone. Yep, GG. So no Sett there, but it kind of didn't matter. Sure, getting some more copies of the Old Timer, that'll be fun. Yeah, we can hit up the shop. Will deny Heroic Charge being a 3 cost. Ally strikes an enemy. If it survives, stun it. Give allies 2 power this round. Allies have faded. We will actually be able to trigger this with our Deceptively Deadly. So sure, the fact we can trigger that every round is too bad. Some of these aren't bad, but we have such a good core deck because we want to be able to draw our Sett, get him on the board with that Chem Tech, and then we want to be able to draw our coin spells. So like our Tag Out, Place Your Bets, and then any of our Champion spell. So getting any more spells will just reduce the chance we can actually draw the other ones we need. So even though some of those are fine, I think we'll be fine. Let's cut some cards. I think we actually get rid of Rictus, especially with that Crystal Carrier. We don't need it, so we're starting at 10. So we can get rid of that there, and let's hit up Sejuani. This looks pretty good. We have Sett, our Old Timer, Tag Out, Attentive Accountant. This is, yeah, pretty good opening hand. We might get, like, immediately Frostbitten, but let's, yeah, go for our Sett.
Spoils will rival the War Mothers. Hear that, Bristle? Varg offers a challenge.
Let's go for right here. So we have enough to kill their Sejuani. I think let's go ahead and attack and try to kill her right away.
I refuse. Rend them limb from limb.
Because we could go for a coin right here. And then we could drop a public execution, although that will potentially give us a rally anyways. Yeah, so playing this right now, we would be able to kill someone, but it would also just give us a rally regardless. So it's a little bit wasted. Let's go for Ambessa, I think. And sure, we can go for our attentive accountant.
We don't do credit.
Yep, there's the shatter. At least it's not going off twice. All right, so she'll be able to kill that. We could have let him attack, but not really a point. This will be, yeah, decent. All right, so Ambessa would die if we targeted her. So we'll let this one get the attack in. Will give us another coin, so that's not too bad.
Across the seas and into battle.
All right, let's go ahead and kill that right here. Get our first rally going.
Burn me at sea.
All right, that shatter is a little annoying, but we can just immediately buff them back up, so it's not too bad.
Beat losers, get
And then let him kill that. He'll survive because of the barrier, and then she can go ahead and kill that unit. Again, let's look where we need 6 more mana. So the old timer would get rid of that unit, but then they would immediately be able to play it again because they still have that 1 mana. Let's actually go ahead and... You know what? Sure, it's fine.
Don't break a hip in there, old man.
You don't know who you're talking to.
All right, let's go ahead and attack like this, and yeah, GG. It is actually kind of fun playing your champion without their normal build, because you actually have to try to find other ways to get your victories. You have to think a little bit more dynamically, whereas sometimes when you're always using like the same build, matches often play out pretty similarly, or you know exactly how they're going to go. So it does make it a little bit more interesting here. Iceborne can be nice, but I think we'll go for Spell Shield just to protect our Sett. Since we have him generating our duplicator, really important he stays on the board. So we'll give him that little bit of extra protection. All right, let's see. Bouncing Blades. None of these is really great. We have the 5 rerolls. Let's go ahead and do that. Cards you draw cost 1 less. Not bad. Welcome Gifts is okay. I think let's go for the quick draw, though. And let's go for the champion item. So, Hunters. Let's get rid of 2 of these. We like having a old timer, 1 Ambessa. Oh, okay, we're guaranteed to draw our Sett because we only have 2 copies of Ambessa. Since we have both of them right here, we know we're going to draw it. So let's immediately just get him on the board.
To me,
We can drop this here. Let's see. So we should just be at 4. Because yeah, he was also reduced down. Let's stun a couple of these.
this meat face.
We'll drop this guy.
That's a good sign.
And let's buff up some of these. And then we can attack like this, get some good damage down, and then we should be able to get a rally going. All right, so he's going to recall 1 of theirs, but he does have double attack, which is going to be pretty big.
We don't really do masks in the arena.
Not here to be known. Just to win.
I do like their voice lines, especially since that's, I think, supposed to be Sett's father, allegedly. All right, GG, nice. More copies of Sett, that is fantastic. Like, whatever item he had almost doesn't even matter. It's just the fact that we're getting more copies of him. Summon, draw a spell, Focus and Crystal, Flame Wreath. All these are good. I think we'll go for the extra spell draw. For 1, also when we draw a card now, it's cheaper. So that'll be pretty good. We're going to be close to overdrawing, but I think we're fine at the moment. Some of these are, again, fine, but we already have such a good kind of kit. Yeah, Hold It is solid. The one issue is, like, we're trying to normally end, like, turn 1. So if they don't have any units on the board turn 1, this isn't really going to help. They do sometimes start with a unit on the board. So, sure. I think we will still bother getting it. Fey Guide or Spell's Chest. This gives us elusive generally. Sure. Cub is better than the stupid dragons. Let's go over here. Oof. I like all of these. All right, we'll stick with this and just hope that we get our champion. Oh, we still did. Fantastic. So we'll go ahead and drop him here.
Technique is for lightweights.
Yeah, we can go for a pit professional.
And all of them here to see you, of course.
And we can do a tag out here. Just gain some more coins is quite nice. All right, 9 out of 12. I guess he's also a little handy tracker. So we're one away from being able to rally.
Losers get paid.
Hopefully they're not going to attack, so that one won't really matter. We can drag this one over here.
In the ring.
And yeah, let's go ahead and attack like this. We want to keep all of our units alive if we can. So we got that rally. He shouldn't recall everyone unless we're able to, like, his mana counts for it, which would give us that. He's going to give us the extra 2/2, but we could attack, rally, and attack again. I think we'll try to drop him.
We don't really do masks in the arena.
Not here to be known, just to win.
Okay, so interesting. It does say if you've like recalled or if you spent that much mana, and as you see from his counter, it says we haven't done it yet, but maybe this is a bug, but his cost is actually counting towards this, even though it's not really showing it, because we were at 11 before, but it still recalled everyone, which I think is what happened last time. So yeah, that is excellent. So GG. Nice. Getting more copies of this unit is excellent. So yeah, let's definitely do that. The extra stats help a decent amount too. Elusive. We'll go elusive for the old timer. So if they still have some units on the board, we can't get them off. They'll be less likely to have an elusive blocker, so that double attack can get through and just do a ton of damage. That will be excellent for us. What do we want to cut? I think we'll cut the Coastal Defender. We're less likely to play that most of the others. All right, let's hit up Gangplank. This is solid. Like, we like all these cards. Perfect. We drew our champion. We do have a lot of copies of our champion, so we are much more likely to do that. And yeah, there, Gangplank. They did have him immediately, so he's stunned. We'll drop our Sett.
I'm the boss. That's all there is to it.
Safety will cost you.
Let's go for a Facebreaker to... yeah, try to stun both of these. But yeah, I figured the warning shot is a lot of damage, but we're mostly playing this for the coins anyways. Like, the stun is nice, but not the whole reason we're playing it.
Be nothing left when I'm done.
Alright, let's drop this coin here. Do we want to attack already?
No holds. You, me, in the ring.
Sure, let's go ahead and attack like this.
Nothing beats the feeling of stepping into
Oh,
the
it's our card that they stole. Nice. A little bit worried about us overdrawing. Sure, let's go ahead and get rid of that. They don't really have any cards to try to stop us, so that's not too bad. Do we want to wait? I think let's go ahead and just get a attack. I think we can probably get another rally going, but this will be decent damage. So yeah, let's play one more of these. We'll still have the 1 mana left for another coin. So boom, already back right there. We'll drop our old timer,
Don't break a hip in there, old man.
get our rally going,
Talking to.
and then this should be GG.
Nobody's tougher
Yep.
than me.
GG. Fantastic. That was pretty great. We were able to end like half of those, especially like last half. Pretty much turn 1, which was excellent, even though we only had one real relic there. That is, yeah, very good. We were able to level up a decent amount. I think we're at level 30, so now we're at about 37. Now, this is just a 4.5 star, so if you can try to do like a 5-star adventure or higher, obviously you're going to get more reward for your blessings. But especially for 3-star champions, I think 4.5 is perfectly fine. And yeah, every time you see an event or weekly nightmare that has these special modifiers, you can kind of cheese to play a lot of these lower level champions, especially when you can play them with kind of a build like this where you're trying to use as few real relics as possible so you can fit in as many cosmic blessings as possible, you definitely want to try to do that. So always be on the lookout for that. And going forward, I'll probably try to highlight those a little bit more. Yeah, pretty awesome. Nice to be able to get some of our lower level champions starting to get up there, especially before they get their constellation, so they can just be a little bit stronger right out the gate. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, like, subscribe, greatly appreciated, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.